Saying no can be one of the most difficult things to do. We often feel guilty for not meeting the expectations of others or for turning down an opportunity. But it's important to remember that it's okay to say no. It can even be beneficial for your well-being. In this video, we'll look at some tips and strategies for how to say no without feeling guilty, so that you can make decisions that are right for you. Prioritize your time. It's important to remember that prioritizing your own time is essential, and ultimately it's up to you to decide how to use your time most effectively. One way to make it easier to say no without feeling guilty is to understand what your priorities are and how they fit into the bigger picture. Consider your long-term goals, both personal and professional, and figure out how taking on a task or activity will help you achieve those goals. If it doesn't fit into that plan, it's likely not worth your time. When you make a decision to decline something, try to express your decision as positively as possible. Explain why you're unable to do the task, but make sure you do so in a way that is respectful and understanding. Showing empathy will make it easier for the other person to understand and respect your decision. Set boundaries. It's important to set boundaries for yourself and your time. Learning how to say no without feeling guilty can help you manage your time more effectively and lead a happier life. First and foremost, remember that it's okay to say no. You have the right to prioritize your own needs, and it's important to respect those boundaries. Remind yourself that it's not selfish to put your own needs first. When you are in a situation where you need to say no, try to be honest and direct. Explain why you are declining an offer or request. It's also a good idea to practice saying no out loud before the situation arises. It will help build your confidence in saying no without feeling guilty. Finally, learn how to forgive yourself. Nobody is perfect, and we all make mistakes. As long as you do your best to respect your own boundaries, it's okay to make mistakes. Saying no can be hard, but it's an important skill to learn. By setting healthy boundaries for yourself and being honest with others, you can learn how to say no without feeling guilty. Don't be afraid to disappoint people. Saying no is a hard thing to do, especially when you care about the person you're turning down. But the truth is, you can't make everyone happy. You need to prioritize your own wants and needs, and sometimes that means disappointing someone else. It's natural to feel guilty or anxious when you say no. After all, nobody wants to make someone else feel bad. But if you remind yourself of the importance of taking care of yourself first, it can be easier to make the decision. First, remember that it's okay to be honest and say no if it's not something you want to do. It's better to be honest and upfront than to agree to something out of guilt and then back out later. Second, don't feel pressured to explain your decision. Sometimes people may not understand why you're saying no, but it's not your job to convince them or defend yourself. You can simply say that it's not something you want to do. Finally, don't worry if you disappoint someone. It doesn't mean they don't like or care about you, it just means they wanted something different. And if they truly care about you, they will understand, otherwise, it was probably a better decision. Saying no is difficult, but it can be done in a way that is respectful and considerate. Remember that it's okay to take care of yourself first and that it's okay to disappoint people sometimes. Stick to your decision. In order to say no without feeling guilty, it's important to remember that you have the right to make decisions for yourself and to stick to them. If you know that something isn't right for you, then you should be confident in your decision and stand by it. Don't let someone else's opinion or pressure sway you. When you need to say no, be honest but respectful. Explain your reasons why you can't do something and be direct with your language. Don't try to beat around the bush or make excuses. Own up to the fact that you simply don't want to do something, and that's okay. Once you've made your decision, be sure to stick to it. Don't let anyone guilt trip you into changing your mind. It's important to respect your own boundaries and stand firm in what you believe is best for you. At the end of the day, it's your life and you have the right to make decisions for yourself without feeling guilty about it. So go ahead and practice saying no without any guilt. Offer an alternative. The key to saying no without feeling guilty is to offer an alternative. Letting someone down gently can be difficult, but it's often better than leaving them hanging. When you have to turn down a request, be sure to offer an alternative solution. For example, if someone asks you to take on a task you don't have time for, consider suggesting someone else who might be able to help. Or if someone needs advice, suggest resources they could use to find the information they need. Offering an alternative gives you the opportunity to express yourself and your needs without coming across as unkind or uncaring. Finally, remember that it's okay to set boundaries and it's okay to say no. You don't need to feel guilty for asserting yourself or taking care of your own needs. Learning how to say no without feeling guilty can help you establish healthy relationships and take better care of yourself. Techniques for managing and reducing feelings of guilt. Saying no can be difficult, especially when it comes to dealing with feelings of guilt. However, learning how to say no without feeling guilty is essential for managing your mental health and setting boundaries. Here are some techniques for managing and reducing feelings of guilt. 1. Acknowledge your feelings. Before you can learn how to manage your guilt, you must first acknowledge it and accept that it is a valid emotion. Remember that guilt is a normal human emotion and try to take a moment to recognize why you are feeling guilty. 2. Reframe your thoughts. Reframing your thoughts can help you to put the situation in perspective. When you start to feel guilty, take a few moments to remind yourself that saying no does not make you a bad person. 3. Use assertive language. When saying no, it is important to use assertive language so that you do not inadvertently give the impression that your answer could change. For example, instead of saying "I don't think I can," say "No, I am unable to." This will help you stay firm in your decision and reduce feelings of guilt. 4. Offer an alternative solution. If possible, offer an alternative solution that might help the other person in some way. This could include suggesting a different person who may be able to help them or providing them with resources where they can find help. 5. Practice self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential for managing feelings of guilt. Spend time doing things that make you happy, such as listening to music, meditating, or spending time outdoors. Make sure that you are getting enough sleep and eating healthy meals. All of these activities will help to reduce stress levels and make it easier to say no without feeling guilty. By following these tips, you can learn how to say no without feeling guilty and practice healthy boundaries in all areas of your life. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications to be notified of our next upload. And remember, the mind and body is simply a machine that you have control over.